You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills After Show.
Yay! We're back. Hello, AfterBuzz fans. If you're tuning in right now, this is the after show for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We are so happy to be back and bringing you a new show. Housewives premiered tonight, and let's just go around the room. We've got some new faces and familiar faces. I'm Diona Vaughan, and to my left,
I'm Molly Harper.
Hey guys, I'm Susan Hahn.
And we are so excited to be bringing you a new after show for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We want to remind you to please check us out on iTunes, download the show. It's completely free. We want to make sure we engage you, and we're super fans. You're super fans. We want you to watch. We want you to listen, make comments, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, because we're having a lot of fun here. And we're also really excited because this show is right in our backyard, because we're right here in Los Angeles, for all you people listening and don't know that. But Beverly Hills is right here, and it's a lot of fun to have the show here, right?
She, bling, bling,
bling, bling, bling, darling. So without further ado, I thought it'd be fun to really quickly talk about some highlights from last season, just to catch everybody up, since it's the summer and now we're in the fall, and just so everybody can know what the housewives are up to. So we left last season. Kim, we know, had a drinking problem. She had the crazy boyfriend. Lisa, she saw her daughter get married, Pandora's wedding, and the big trip to Hawaii.
Right.
So we're just really quickly, before we dig into this new season, did you guys, were you surprised at what happened from last season and where things are right now as of this first episode? Or
I'm surprised that Kim had a drinking problem. I thought she had a narcotics problem, not a drinking problem. I thought she was on some sort of cocaine, or because she was acting really, really loopy. And so
I feel like she was on both.
I do too. I don't think it was just alcohol. So I was surprised when it was, Kim Richards went to rehab for alcohol.
Okay.
I don't know if they would have admitted if it were anything harsher, but they did kind of allude to the fact that she was on some sort of painkiller last season.
Right.
So I think she was definitely on a cocktail of things.
A cocktail of things.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that. Well, let's dig into this current episode. So I'd like to think of, the first overarching theme with this episode is that things change.
Yeah.
So we see in the very beginning, Lisa and Brandy, they're like BFF. What do y'all think about that?
I think that's not going to last long.
Really? Why?
I think that Lisa will get sick of Brandy. I think Brandy's going to grow tired on her, because I think Lisa's, love her or hate her, she's smart and witty and intelligent, and I just don't think Brandy is. And I think that eventually she's going to get sick of her. And I think she needs a buddy right now, because she's down a buddy in Adrienne.
Good point.
So I just don't think that friendship's going to last forever.
But don't you feel kind of like Brandy is kind of refreshing to be in Lisa's corner, because Lisa's so proper. She's very, English. She's very, pink. And Brandy is not. She's very blunt. She's very, she has diarrhea of her mouth. She says whatever she wants to say, and she doesn't apologize for it.
Right. I definitely think that Brandy, because we kind of talked about it when we were viewing it together, she's kind of like a fish out of water with this group of people. I don't necessarily think she's not intelligent or smart. I just think she's just in a whole nother realm of women that she's not used to being around.
Right.
What are you gonna say?
Well, I just think her jokes are not as smart. Like, she always kind of, to me, goes to the bottom of the barrel. Like, she makes, like, sex jokes and penis jokes and whatever.
Right.
And, like, the other women are just classier. I mean, they're not, I'm not going to say they're all classy women because I don't think they are. But they hang out with an upper echelon group of people than what Brandy does. Yeah, and I just think that they're going to kind of get sick of her after a while. I mean, I think it's fun, like you said. Yeah, it's always fun to have
Right,
a
but how
crazy
many
friend.
like penis jokes can
How
you
many penis
tell?
jokes can you get? And then
Yeah.
I think once Brandy pisses her off once or does the false thing once or embarrasses her once in front of a client
Yeah.
or something like that, then Lisa's going to be like, oh, darling, I'm so over you.
Well, at the same time, Brandy doesn't mince words when she talks about Ken, Lisa's husband, and how she wants to sleep with him. And Lisa
She
even
wants
made
to get in on that money.
I know, right? Lisa even made the joke. Well, at least everybody's honest. Brandy wants to sleep with Ken. Ken wants to sleep with me, and I don't want to have sex.
Right.
You know, which I
With
thought was
anyone.
cute with
It's really
anyone.
funny.
You know, but I don't know. Do you think like her jokes are limited and her time is limited with the ladies, especially Lisa?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I do. That's maybe too much of prediction, but yeah.
Hmm.
We'll see.
Well, some more things that changed this season. Lisa moves. She's in a new house. She's no longer right across the street from her ex-BFF, Adrienne. And then we also, just for all of you fans who didn't hear in the news or the tabloids, but this past summer, Lisa's house actually went up into flames. So I know you guys heard about that, but she wasn't in it. She actually had already moved. But
Can I interject?
Of
Did she
course.
move because her house went up in flames, or because? And I wouldn't really call Adrienne and Kim BFFs. I wouldn't go as far as calling them BFFs.
well, no, I mean Adrienne and Lisa.
and Lisa, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
and
not
Lisa.
BFFs, but I think they had a close enough relationship, especially
always-
since they lived across the street from each other.
I
you
kind
know?
of felt there was always some sort of tension between them. You know,
okay.
it was, I don't know, maybe the battle of the wallet, maybe who has more money, I don't know. But I always kind of felt like they were in competition with each other because she's a Maloof and she's
a Vanderpump.
a Vanderpump. And so I wouldn't go as far as their BFF. But the rumor has it that she moved her house because of Adrienne.
Well, I know because you were starting to ask before if she moved because of the fire, and no, she had actually, they were already out of the house, and the fire just happened. It
I
was a
see.
horrible coincidence that her house went up into flames.
see.
So,
Okay.
what do you think about that?
I agree that it might be a battle of the wallet or a competition in that way between the two women. And I think that you remember when last season when Adrienne took it so personally when Lisa didn't throw Pandora's bachelorette party at the
right.
Palms, and she threw it at
Hard Rock, was it?
Planet Hollywood.
Or Planet Hollywood.
And that was such a conflict between them.
Right.
But I think that Lisa knew full well it was going to piss off Adrienne. But I don't really get it. I mean, to me, their drama seems a little forced, but obviously there's some depth to it if she had to move. But then the other part of me is like, you both live in gigantic mansions on acres of land. Like, I know she's your across the street neighbor, but how much do you actually see her?
I know, right?
Through the
It's like
gates and
with
the
binoculars.
trees, and I know
Right.
it's ridiculous.
Well, the beef actually stemmed from the reunion when I don't know if you guys remember, but Adrienne accused Lisa of selling stories to the tabloids And
About
of course-
Taylor.
About Taylor, and then of course Lisa denied it, and that's where this all came from. And even Lisa said, you know, like if she wants to start off with an apology, my ears are open. Otherwise, moving on. You know, so we'll dig into that a little later. And then some more things that have changed. Taylor gained some weight. She put on some weight.
She looks
10
good.
pounds.
Her face is catching up to
Yeah.
her lips.
do you guys see it though? I mean, yeah.
A little bit.
I saw it a little bit. Yeah.
Really?
Do you see it?
It's, well, I guess like a quarter of a pound just must have spread out evenly across her body. Because like when I gain 10 pounds, you see it, and it's like all in my neck.
Well, no,
But-
before it was like her lips walked in the door like 5
Yeah.
minutes before the rest of her did, but now it's like 2 minutes behind
Yeah.
her.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think she looks fantastic.
Yeah. I think she looks
I
good.
think she looks
I mean, because
fantastic.
it's been 9 months or so since her husband.
When they started filming this.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
She looks great.
Speaking of change, I wish that one thing that would have changed, going back to Lisa, would have been her color. Like, I'm a little over the pink.
Oh, that's just her thing,
Oh,
though.
she needs a new color, though.
Her house, her closet, her accent colors. I mean, that's just
Her wardrobe
thing.
is always
pink.
pink.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I love pink, but my goodness.
it's a little overkill.
Yeah.
Too much.
All right, moving on, ladies. So there's some new blood in Beverly Hills, and her name is Yolanda Foster. Do we like her?
I like her.
What do you think?
I like her.
I don't feel like we got to see her enough to make a judgment personally.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to like her. I mean,
I like her.
She definitely brings with her a little bit of story and drama because, as we heard, Yolanda used to be married to Muhammad, who is Lisa's friend. So that's
Right.
their connection. And now she's married to Uber music producer, writer David Foster. And then we were talking earlier that David Foster used to be Brody Jenner's ex-stepdad. Like, I feel like Beverly Hills is so, like, incestuous. Like, everybody's slept with everybody
And then remember
else.
last season, Brody Jenner's mom was on the show. She was at
Right.
Brandy's house when all that drama happened with Taylor and she was going berserk. That was who David Foster's ex-wife was. But you know, Yolanda seems very positive. She just brings something new. Like she doesn't. I don't think she's in it for the drama. I'm not saying that she's not going to get involved in the drama, but she just seems like, not that she's above the drama, but I feel like she's going to be very rational.
See, I'm gonna counter that. I feel like she's got something up her sleeve. I feel like because she was the main one who was just like, oh, you ladies are all about drama. Like, and I just feel like the minute that like left her lips, I feel like something is coming with that woman. I feel like we're gonna see some fights, some drama stemming from her. I just don't feel like it's smooth sailing because she's blonde and she's pretty and she's blah blah blah. And I feel like she kind of comes off like she's a little better than the other women, and she's not gonna indulge in that kind of stuff. But it's like, let your hair down. Like, come on. Like, what do you think,
We'll have
Molly?
to see.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. You guys obviously formed like major opinions on her, and I truly didn't. I was like, boring segment. Let's move on. Like,
Okay.
well, I think they're in Malibu though, aren't they? It looked like a Malibu beach house up on a hill
It's
overlooking the water. So I think she's going to be a little bit further removed from the rest of the women, aside from Kim.
Well, nothing that a hired car and driver can't take care
Right,
of. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
But at least
So,
she's not going to be bumping into them. I don't think as like often as Lisa might bump into Adrienne.
True.
Being neighbors
True.
and whatever.
True.
But yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm gonna like just hold on my opinion of her because what I tend to do is I make really strong opinions about people and then I have to like completely apologize for my feelings the next week.
It's okay. Do it. Do it. Do it.
And then say I totally changed my mind about what I said about them. I don't have an opinion on her yet. She's pretty.
I do. You know who I do have an opinion on is Kim. Like
Oh,
I know
can't
that
stand her.
she's been like a month sober in this episode, but she still acts like she's on something.
She did brain damage because
Yeah.
the way she talks is all skittish. You know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
moves her head like this, like she's tweaking on meth. And she's just a nutbag.
She is a nutbag.
Oh, yeah, and we also
I can't think of a better word.
I'm just disappointed because this is her sister inviting her over for her niece's birthday party, which is your children's cousins. So the whole excuse saying, well, you know, the whole family is never really together all the time. We want to spend the weekend, you know, with us, but I get that, but it's family and spending,
Yeah.
you know, maybe 2 hours of that time with your family shouldn't really be a big deal. It should be a given.
right.
To me, it's typical of somebody who's abusing some sort of drugs or alcohol because they try to avoid their family a lot of times and like say no to an event or say no to a party or whatever because
Yeah.
they don't want to have to be faced with anything. And even though she's sober now, so she says, I feel like she's maybe still has some of that behavior.
Yeah.
Because we saw her in the past trying to get out of situations.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was always her excuse. Like she always fell back
Her
on her
kids.
family. Like, I need to spend time with my kids. I need to be with my
It's
family.
like your kids don't want to be around you.
Yeah,
Drunk,
and her
annoying
kids are
woman.
older. She makes it like her kids are like 8 years old.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're older. You know, they're like, I don't know what, 15, 18, something like that. Over the, you know, old enough to take care of themselves,
Right.
so to say. Now, what do you think about
Kathy Hilton's Saks Fifth Avenue in her living room?
or just the sisters in general? Because that was kind of like my next topic for
Did you
all
say
of
she
us.
has a dress line on HLN? Is that what you said?
I brought that up. I just
okay.
thought it was kind of interesting how Kim comes over to Kathy's house with her
we've
daughter.
never seen Kathy.
We've seen her,
but
Just
not
season one.
not like that.
But not like that.
I just thought it was so contrived and planned that Kim brings her daughter over and Kathy's got this rack of dresses. Like, okay, what are you trying to sell? Are
Yeah.
you selling the Bloomingdales? Like,
Yeah.
it was too contrived.
Does she actually have a dress line?
I don't know. I
But
threw
she
that
has
out
that
there.
shop in Malibu.
right that
The vintage like resale shop.
right.
Yeah, but
Consignment, whatever.
who has a rack of dresses? Let me just have
And
a
they
rack of
had
dresses
the
for my
same
niece.
blue tags
Yeah.
on
It was
there.
just weird.
That's true.
Yeah,
We gotta
I
look
felt
that
like,
up.
is this gonna? Am I gonna see this walking down Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week next spring? I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
funny because
No.
I don't know if
Did
you guys
see the
have
dresses?
I know.
Okay.
The
But-
dresses were really beautiful. I actually
No.
thought.
Oh.
But it's funny because all the girls in Beverly Hills, they all wear, like, even the teenagers
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, they wear, like, nothing. And so it's like, this poor girl is going to go to the prom with more clothes on than anybody else. And she's going to be mortified for the rest. I know how that is. I went to my confirmation with, like, a full-on, full-length dress. And to this day, I regret it because I look at the pictures, all the girls have short dresses on except for me. It's a horrible decision. Like, they better, like, cleave it up, shorten it.
She's gonna be
Or she'll
overdressed
be-
with a tank style
She'll be
dress.
bullied.
The booty cheeks hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my kind of stuff.
That's how
for
it is.
sure.
It's Beverly Hills for you, baby.
I
She.
know.
So what do we think about Kim and Kyle? It seems like their relationship is still contentious. They still haven't gotten over like all the crap that happened last season.
Well, Kim made a very good point. Kyle made a very good point. She said, Kim's still mad at me for the way I reacted to her behavior.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Kim was the one who was abusing whatever she was abusing, and she was just not herself. And we've seen it, and whether it's editing or not, there were some truth moments where we're like, this lady needs help. She's definitely on something, and she needs help. And now, I think it was season 1 in the limo. I think maybe it was the last episode where Kim was like, you made me sell my house or do something.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
Kyle was like, whoa. Like, what are you talking about? And as sisters, they're going to have drama, but I think maybe Kim has selective memory, and maybe she's just doesn't know what really happened.
Well, she's
you know.
also she hasn't been in her right mind.
Well, that's
because
what I'm
she's
saying.
been abusing whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if she can be accountable for her memory, if that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
So I don't know. What do you think?
I think that we need to chill out from that storyline. I mean, not we, but like
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Because it's just getting tiresome a little bit.
Yeah.
It's getting like it's the same old thing.
And I mean, you made
Kyle's
a good
disappointed in Kim.
right.
We get it.
And you made a good point earlier. I think it's just habitual now. She's so used to hiding things, like just hiding whatever, hiding her life, or just leading two separate lives.
Yeah.
That she's just so used to saying, no, I don't know if I can make it.
Yeah.
And I think that for some reason, I think she's more comfortable not committing to something because maybe she has anxiety around people. I don't know. I don't know. But this is her sister, and it's sad because you can see the
It's sad.
disappointment on Kyle's face.
Right. And just how hurt she is. And
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've also like known from the history too that Kyle feels like she's the big sister and she's had to take care of Kim.
Yeah.
And I feel like that feeling hasn't gone away.
No.
You
Yeah.
know. But I
think
agree
she's
with
always
you.
going to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just kind of like when they sat down at the party at
Villa Blanca.
Yeah, I was like the villa, whatever. At
The Villa White.
Yeah, the Villa Blanca.
The White House.
And they were having that conversation about not coming. I was like, oh, again already. It's just like I feel like I need a break from it.
Yeah.
But
It is
it's not gonna
tired.
happen.
At the same time, I feel like because they're true blood sisters, I think that's a relationship that can't be faked.
It can't. Right?
You know what I mean? It's a true, genuine relationship, and I think that's kind of what I happen to have a sister. I don't know if you have a sister, but that's just kind of the nature of a between sisters. So I
Right.
think, unfortunately or fortunately, we're still going to see a lot of that because
Yeah.
it still creates drama. So
It does.
you
Like,
know,
I mean, like, what is this? You know what I mean?
she's debuting her line.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
I think they are
It's-
pretty. You guys don't like them? I think they're pretty.
they're very like.
Like that? No.
I like that.
You like this?
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
it's kind of Midwest. I'm going to the prom. I don't
No,
know.
no. I mean, hey,
Hated it. Sorry.
I like it. But yeah, that looks like a confirmation dress. Come on. That's
Yeah.
not what you
Too
would have prom in
prom,
Beverly Hills.
no.
All right, y'all. So finally, everybody meets at Villa Blanca. Well, except for Adrienne. Wah wah.
Okay, now how do you guys feel about Adrienne not being invited?
I'm going to say this first. I've always liked Lisa, and I like the fact that Lisa, she just kind of comes straight with things, you know, and she didn't disappoint when it came to this. She said, you know, straight up, me and Adrienne, we're not in a good place. I just didn't feel genuine in inviting her. Where I feel like with other housewives, whether it's this season or other ones, I think because of the pressure, like, oh, I have to invite her.
Like
they would
Kyle inviting Brandy.
Exactly. Perfect example. Kyle invited Brandy because she felt like, oh, she was put on the spot. But Lisa didn't invite her, and I have to give her props for that.
Yeah.
But don't you also kind of see on the flip side that they're grown-ass women and that they have the same circle of friends, and was their falling out that big of an injury to their relationship?
But apparently it was to her if she decided not to invite her to her party.
And she had to move.
Yeah. I don't think she moved specifically to get away from the Maloofs.
Well,
Like,
I
come
hope
on.
not, and I hope that they.
But she made that like kind of comment. She goes, "I love the new house and there's no neighbors." You know.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't pick up and move
Right.
into a freaking, you know, $20 million house to get away from your next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe you would if you had that kind of money.
Oh, well, must be nice.
Well, I like Adrienne, and I just hope that they can squash it because you know they're both these women are close. They're
Yeah.
close to one another, and I
Mhm.
just feel like it is kind of mean girl thing. I understand that Lisa could justify why she didn't invite her,
Yeah.
but it is a kind of a mean girl thing. You know what I mean?
Part of me feels like though that it's contrived storyline, this whole tiff between the two of them.
Mhm.
Quite frankly, because I feel like Adrienne is kind of pointless and not that exciting in the show. I do. I don't think she needs to be on it. I was kind of hoping that she would get kicked off.
Yeah.
Tell me how you really feel.
I
I know, right?
But I don't find her storylines very exciting, and I feel like, you know, like this happened on Real Housewives of New York earlier this year. Like I just felt like some of the storylines were kind of made up because some of the women were kind of boring. And it's like if they didn't come up with some sort of drama
Yeah.
that seemed kind of not very authentic, then we'd be totally bored. And that's kind of how I feel about the Adrienne thing.
Well, I'm going to jump on the Adrienne train with you right now because ever since the reunion special with Adrienne, I really disliked how, you know, when Taylor was sitting there, like, telling everybody how she was being abused and, you know, what was having a relationship, that, like, she was the main one who was, like, questioning her. And I'm like, of all things, if your girlfriend, if another woman is telling you she's being abused, either emotionally or
Right.
physically, like, at least try and have her back. Like, I didn't like that at all.
Okay, but I have to step in here. But that was the whole drama with Camille as well, because Camille was like, "You need to tell the truth. What is the truth?" And I think that's why Adrienne was questioning her, because Taylor kept going back on her stories. Do you know what I mean? Because I
Right.
think she was crying out for help clearly, but she wasn't sure that she wanted to put it all out there. That
True.
her husband's abusing her. He can go to jail. I mean, he's gonna go to. Well, he would have gone to jail. You know what I mean? And it's like. And she was torn, like, do I send my child's husband to jail? Do I put it out there that he physically abuses me? And that's why Camille was like, you need to tell the truth. Like, don't do this.
I get it, but at the same time, women of abuse, like, they're not going to be like, yeah, I'm getting abused. You know what I
Right,
mean?
but-
Like, it's not so simple.
Of course. But
You
for
know?
the fact, but it's not just Adrienne that was doubting her stories or her
Right.
her truth. You know,
I get
it
it.
was Camille too, and it was Kyle too. That was like,
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I'm just like, if anything, like, at least try and support this woman with a situation like
Right.
that. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
And I
Yeah.
mean, and we saw what happened to her late husband.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Obviously, there's a lot going on. Horrible.
Speaking of Camille, are we missing her at all?
I am.
I do.
Yeah.
I liked her.
Me
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
I
you-
liked Camille.
Do you think that it was the right move, Robin not bringing her back? I mean, because like it looks like in scenes for the next, like, you know, we're gonna see a
Did
little bit of her
they-
this season, but not.
Did
you
they
know.
not ask her back, or did she not want to come back?
I'm not sure what the rumor is. I'm not sure if she just didn't get asked back, or because of everything she was going through in her personal life, she made the choice not to, you know.
Because I
come
felt
back.
like it would have been the latter, because I think that Camille, I thought she seemed like a smart woman, and I found her likable, and I thought she really wanted to protect herself and her children.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I wouldn't have been surprised if it was her choice not to come back
Mm-hmm.
because she wanted to deal with her own personal life.
I heard that it was her choice not coming
Okay.
back as well.
Okay.
I heard, and if she's making these little appearances on Bravo, I don't think that if Bravo wanted her out,
They wouldn't have let her do that. Yeah.
let her, let alone, I don't think she would have wanted to make these appearances.
From what I understand, she has a new relationship.
Yeah.
And she's,
Mhm.
she's probably like letting that sink in and giving
Yeah,
that
kind of
time.
moving on.
Yeah.
And really quickly, we kind of didn't catch this right here, but at Lisa's party, so Adrienne sends this big old, I don't even want to call it a
The
flower
tree of
arrangement.
life.
It was like a freaking tree.
Yeah.
Wasn't an olive branch. What do you guys think about her sending a flower arrangement to a party that she was snubbed from?
I think it was like, fuck you, bitch. that was kind of hideous. I mean,
Yeah.
flowers
Yeah.
shouldn't look hideous, but that was kind of like, what is that? You know what I mean?
It's
Is it like a
ostentatious.
It
piñata?
was
What
a
is
dug up
it?
tree. I don't know
It
what
was.
it
It was Adrienne saying like, well, you didn't invite me, but here's my display of the forest.
It's going to rot right in front of you.
I bet
Yeah.
there's like worms in there.
I thought it was bizarre.
It was just weird, right? Who sends somebody flowers to a party that you aren't invited to?
First of all, flowers to a party is not the normal gift. Usually when you go to a party, you bring...
Wine.
Wine
But that's
or
when you're
something.
invited.
Well, yeah, I know. I just thought it was, very bizarre. I don't know what she was trying to say.
Well,
I
I
think she was trying to say,
F you.
I'm above... I thought she was trying to say I'm above this.
You know, I think it was half and half. I think she wanted to be like, listen, enjoy your party, have a great time, but kiss my ass at the same
So
time.
it wasn't an invitation for friendship.
No,
No.
I don't know.
It was very bizarre. I couldn't read it, quite frankly. I don't know what it was.
Right? Wasn't that strange? I don't know. I don't know what that signals for their relationship to come this season.
And quite frankly, if I were Lisa, and I would be like, okay, it was the opening party, right?
Yeah,
It was her
anniversary
anniversary.
party at Villa Blanca.
Our anniversary party.
Mhm.
I'd be like, we already have our own centerpieces, thank you. And like, where am I going to shove this gigantic thing? Like, now this has become a headache. And Adrienne, you're annoying me yet again. That's how I would feel.
Oh, up your ass.
Yeah.
bitch. Did we miss anything? I feel like. Did see
You were going
episode
to talk
one?
about Paul being bi-coastal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Well, obviously, we know now from the tabloids and the news that Adrienne and Paul are getting a divorce. But obviously, when this was being filmed, we didn't know that in the beginning. So I found it very interesting that Adrienne brought up the fact that, oh, Paul, he's thinking about being bi-coastal and whatever. Well, obviously, we know the outcome of that.
Do we know why they're getting divorced?
I don't know, but do you feel like you saw it coming, like from seasons previous, just with the way she treated him? I feel like she always kind of slighted him, gave him the cold shoulder, never gave him any love, affection.
Right, but I feel like he gave it right back to her. Like, he didn't seem like some chump. Like, he can definitely go head to head with her. When the whole Sacramento, when they're thinking about bringing that team down to, like, was it LA?
The Kings,
The
yeah.
Kings.
Mhm.
And she wanted to go up there, and he was like, no, I don't want you going up there. And she like put up a fight about it because she's like, this is because she owns the Kings, Sacramento
Right.
Kings. It's a basketball team. If people out there don't know what we're talking about, it's a basketball team in Sacramento, California, and her and her brothers own the Kings. And she was putting up a fight with Paul, and Paul was like, no, he definitely was like, if you're going to go, I'm going to be there. Security's going to be there. And I don't feel like he sits there while she kind of, puts him down.
Yeah.
I feel like he can definitely
hold his own.
hold his own.
I feel like he's the main one, like really like trying to get attention and affection from her, though. I never really see her like making an effort to be lovey-dovey, kiss, hug. I don't.
I think they made it pretty clear since season 1 that
Right.
they never have sex. And
But Molly brought up a good point earlier where she feels like Adrienne's just kind of blah. And I think that's just her personality.
Yeah.
She's not super like, hey, that's not her. She's
Yeah.
always very straight,
Yeah.
She's not like, maybe it's too much Botox and her face doesn't move that. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm so
But
happy. Yeah.
it's like she doesn't have that in her bones, like where she's like, hey guys, and so I feel like across the board she's just the same way, whether it's to her husband or to her friends. It's just she's very
she's kind of But the other thing with Adrienne is she comes from a very successful family. I know that Paul is a successful surgeon, but let's face it, Adrienne has the money in the relationship between the two
Absolutely.
of them.
Right.
And quite frankly, she got what she needed from him, which was a brand new face, and she can move on with her life.
A brand new face and 2 young kids.
Exactly.
Is it 2 or 3?
No, she's got 2 kids.
I
two,
thought she
two
has
little
twins
ones.
and then another one.
We'll have to check
Yeah,
on
we
that.
have to check
They
on
don't really
that.
show her kids much.
No, not much at all. Mm-mm.
Which I
Um,
kind of like because she's
yeah.
protecting the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Totes,
yeah,
totes,
I guess
totes,
it's not that shocking.
Yeah, I have to
I
agree.
mean, no divorce in Beverly Hills should
It's
be shocking.
This
but
is true. This is
But
true.
she does look good though. Her face does look good.
I think she looks a lot older than Paul. I don't know if she is in fact older, but she looks older.
I mean, she looks good right there.
I mean, she's had some,
She's had some tug and pull.
the prerequisite Beverly Hills work done, you know. So, but she
I
looks
mean,
good.
if your husband was a plastic surgeon, don't even front. Your
Oh,
ass would
hell
be
yeah.
like-
Mm-hmm.
You'll be
Yes,
Spanish.
honey.
You wouldn't even be black and
I would be black. I'd be like Elsa. ¿Cómo te llamas? I couldn't move my face once. Yeah.
I
Okay.
love Mama Elsa.
Oh, she's so funny. So funny.
I want her to come to Beverly Hills now. That would be fun if she
Ooh.
just came to one of their parties.
She scares me.
Oh, we would have
Her
so much
face,
fun with
yeah.
Mama Elsa. It's like
She's hilarious.
she can't move. All right, you guys. I think we're ready for a little news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so a little bit of our news and gossip. It's actually old stuff, but I figured I'd talk about it since we've had some time off for the fans, and maybe you haven't heard about it, or if you have, we're freshening up your brains, just to reinvigorate you for this new season of Beverly Hills Housewives. The first bit of old gossip is that Brandi Glanville was caught having sex in Kyle Richards' house in the bathroom.
With who?
Well, that I don't know, but I'm not sure if this piece of gossip could potentially be from this season, because this could have been taped, at the time where this season was shooting, and so maybe progressively we'll see where this supposedly happens. So even though it's old gossip, we might not have seen it yet.
I'm just saying, this better not have gone down at Portia's birthday party because that is dirty.
I know.
That
I
is
know.
disgusting. At a
I wouldn't put it
child's
past her,
birthday.
though.
I know. I wouldn't
party.
put it past her, but
Yes. So that's a little bit of old gossip.
I feel bad for Portia because I feel like her birthday party is just going to be the sounding board for drama.
I know, but
Yeah.
she's only 4. She
won't
know.
remember.
She don't know.
and
She's
I'm sure
4.
she had like 3 other birthday parties
Yeah.
Mhm.
that
She
wasn't
don't know.
televised.
Yeah, and when she turns 16, she'll go to Porsche, and who cares? Moving
Portia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll get a Porsche.
Yeah. Moving on, well, we've already kind of talked about this, but Adrienne and Paul Maloof, they're officially getting a divorce, so that's
I'm
old
really
news.
sad
but
about that because I know that they're not the typical lovey-dovey couple, but what in this day and age, who is like lovey-dovey and wants to like rub each other's parts all day long? You know what I mean? It's
Rub
like,
each other's parts.
It is what it is, and I love the fact that they were so refreshing about it. She's like, I love you, but you're a fucking dick sometimes, and I love that about them.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart that they're not together anymore.
I'd like to find someone to rub my parts. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Call 555. No, I'm sorry. Anyway, no, I'm
my
being
God.
serious. Anyway, last bit of old gossip. You didn't know what you were in for, did you?
No.
Molly? So we kind of talked about this earlier too, but there was a fire at Lisa Vanderpump's old residence in Beverly Hills this past summer, and I remember that made big news. It was all over the tabloids, it was in the magazines, it was on TV, but everything is okay with them. No one was hurt. It was, the home was empty, and
We
she
saw
was already
little
out of it.
clips on
Yeah,
what happens this season. Now,
Exactly.
Adrienne was in the car with her kids, ready to get out of that area, and you see Paul going over to the Vanderpumps.
Right.
Now,
Right.
do you think that could have been the icing on the cake for?
We hear her make a comment, but who knows if that was lost in editing, because
Right.
she was just like, you better get in the car or something, but I don't think that had anything to do with the fire. I feel like it had to do with something else.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Did the fire actually destroy the house?
No. I think
no,
part
it was
of
a lot of damage.
Yeah.
It didn't burn it to the ground. It was just a lot of damage. So
Don't you guys find that a little suspect? I mean, do you think that was some sort of insurance fraud? They just so happened to be out of the house and then suddenly a fire broke out. It's just weird.
Yeah, that's
know.
very.
I mean, it's interesting
Inspector
theory.
Gadget of you.
I know, Inspector Gadget.
very Law and Order. Yes,
Maybe I watched too much Law and Order.
I do
but,
too.
Maybe Villa Blanca's not doing well and they needed some money.
But why not burn down the restaurant?
Because they moved out of the house already.
But wouldn't it be easier to burn down a restaurant like with burners and
No,
flames?
it's harder to make sure there's not patrons there.
Right.
Oh, good point. Good point.
I know.
Molly.
I'm like should be a detective.
Wow. I actually went to Sir this past weekend. Great
You
place.
did?
For all you guys who don't know, Sir is another restaurant in Beverly Hills that Lisa Vanderpump owns. Really nice.
And before I forget, we've been talking about Villa Blanca, which means White House. So tomorrow, everybody please go vote. Whoever you vote for,
Yes.
just vote.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Tomorrow is a very big day. Everybody needs to go out, cast your votes.
Yeah.
We don't care who you vote for, just go out and do it.
vote.
It's a
I care,
privilege,
but that's
you
okay.
know. Well, we do, but we're not going to say.
Do you need some
Anyhow,
lotion for your
Were those
ashy arms?
was that a subliminal message?
I'm brown. I'm brown. Sorry. Do you know what? Real quick, you want to know who people say I look like?
Who?
Every time I go to an
Michelle
audition.
Obama?
Yes, I
Oh,
get that.
I
all
love
the
it that
time.
I didn't even put. I was like, who? What's her
No.
name?
We all look alike. You know.
Malika Obama?
That's not her
Well, that's a
name. It's
compliment.
Malia.
Oh, Malia.
Her name ain't Malika. Anyway, let's wrap this up, ladies, with a few predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions. All right, since this is the very first.
Who was that? Who was that?
That was Marissa. Since this is
Oh my
the
God,
very
that was the
first.
creepiest noise.
Sorry, Marissa. What are you making
My
noises for over
gosh,
there?
she had burrito earlier.
gross.
This is the first show, so obviously we've got a big, interesting, fun season, and we saw some highlights. We saw some girls kissing. We saw.
We
It looks.
did?
Yeah, there was some. Yeah, you missed that, Molly.
I missed that.
Oh yeah, girl kisses. There's a trip to Paris.
I saw that.
Camille makes a return. Is there anything that you guys are really hoping to see, like this season?
Ken was on a gurney.
Oh yes.
Now,
Mhm.
was that from plastic
Oh.
surgery or was he really hurt?
We
They
don't
don't
know
put you
what I
on
mean.
gurney for plastic surgery, do they?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
they
A
do.
gurney.
Where-
Yeah.
Where do you think they do the surgery on?
Yeah.
Your
And
bed
In like
mattress?
a fabulous spa-like place.
Well, it
like
depends
Paul
if
Nassif's
you're.
office.
It depends
Oh,
if you're put under
And then
or
Kim
not.
gets her nose done or something because you hear
Yeah.
a clunk and
Uh-huh.
then she had like a
needed it.
Band-Aid.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other things that you're
Well,
hoping
I hope
to see?
that Kim falls back onto
Molly.
Wow.
You want to see her back in Promises? Not. I don't know if that's where she was. And for all you guys who don't know, Promises is a very popular
I don't think
place
she can
where people
afford
go
Promises,
for recovery.
you guys.
Well-
She lives in Westlake.
Wait, Westlake is a
Ooh.
very nice area.
Yeah, it's no Beverly Hills, though.
But yeah, but her sister is Kathy Hilton.
Oh,
true.
I'm
look
sure.
who the snob is on this channel. Love it. All right, you guys. So, way to start off a new season for
excited.
Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, and then don't forget, you guys, we're gonna be here next Tuesday at 7.
yes.
So this is not our
Not our regular time,
regular time.
but we're glad that you're tuning in tonight, and hopefully you'll come back and watch us. Plus, we're gonna have more to talk about. We'll recap, watch what happens live, and all that fun stuff
and we
for
have
you guys.
great guest stars this
Yes,
season.
host stars. Yeah, we got a lot of really great host stars coming up this season for you guys. Lots of people we're going to bring into the studio. And we hope you keep watching. And let's just go around the room really quickly. Where can we find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Molly Comedy.
And you guys can follow me on Twitter at @ItSusanHahn and at Instagram at @ItSusanHahn.
And you guys can follow me, Diona Vaughan, at Go2GirlTV. That's GO2 TV. And that's been another AfterBuzz recap for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Woo!
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz
Okay.
TV staff. We would like to thank you for
Let's say
listening to
vote.
the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions,
tomorrow.
be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Go vote!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.